Hey, this is Malika of Evanston Live TV, and I have with me today a powerful voice in the Evanston community. Everybody knows him, Nikko Ross. I had the opportunity of meeting Nikko a couple years ago up at Family Focus, and he was part of the new generation of freedom fighters. And I was like, wow, this is really powerful. And he's led a march for his community. And he spoke this past weekend at the United Black Family Rally at the Fountain Square, downtown Evanston. Unfortunately, we didn't get to hear his speech. And I thought that it was very, very important to hear from him because he has so much going on. He's a part of so many groups. He's a leader in this community. And I was like, oh no, you got to come on Evanston Live TV and let people know what you were talking about, what you were trying to get across at that rally. Welcome to the show, Nikko. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for extending your platform.
Oh, most definitely. You are, I was just speaking with interim city manager Erica Storley, interviewed her last week, and we were talking about the leadership in Evanston, and with Hecky Powell passing, Mayor Morton's passing, we're like, gosh, who else is there to go to that's like that godfather? So I was like, there's a whole new generation of the next Hecky Powells and Mayor Mortons. You know, you got Robin Rue Simmons, and we got Nikko Ross, who everybody will be going to, you know, as you grow more and more into yourself. I mean, you're already on the right path. You come from a family that's active. So tell us all of what you're involved in, Nikko, and definitely tell us what that message was that you were trying to get across at the rally.
Thank you. I appreciate that. What I'm a part of now, I'm a chief organizer for youth, a part of Evanston Village. And my role there is, you know, constantly coming up with programs that help our youth for future generations and more generations to come through education. And the most powerful thing we could give to our kids right now in this world of disdain and so much hurt is we implement systems, and we implement systems that can not only benefit the community, but can also benefit our children, and creating a stockpile of generational wealth within our communities.
So what's the plan? How can people get involved in helping you with this vision?
Well, you can contact me on Facebook, and my email is nico.ross@yahoo.com. And also you can join and like the Evanston Village page also on Facebook.
Okay. Now, you had led a march. Was it last year? I believe it was last year.
Yeah, last year, 2019.
And that was powerful. That was powerful. I had put out a message, and I think it was totally misunderstood. I had put out a message, you know, because, you know, everyone's wanting to save Family Focus. Is such an important piece of Evanston, you know, and my whole thing is, and maybe now people will understand more of what I was saying.
Yes.
Don't just go taking pictures and wearing the t-shirts and marching, you know, with the Black community. Like, do something. Do something. You know, you see Derek Chauvin doing what he's doing, you know, you have some power to do something about that. You know what I'm saying? So tell people about that march, and where's Family Focus now? Like, what's the latest on that?
The march symbolized what has been going on across Black communities in America, period, which was, you know, we wanted to avoid gentrification and avoid, you know, penetration from the gentrifiers in our communities, because, like, again, a place like Family Focus has been a cornerstone for everyone, as far as teen parent programming, um, helping for the homeless. I'm sorry. Um, you know, kids and summer camps. It's just been a part of so much,
Mm-hmm.
so much history, and that's actually the first Black school that was in Evanston. So just to allow it to be gentrified or to be knocked down or whatever the plan was, we just can't go for that. We just can't sit back and hold our tongue and watch injustice being done in our own communities.
So where is Family Focus now? I mean, I hear so many different stories floating around Evanston as to what's happening with it. What's the latest on it?
Well, the last time I heard Family Focus, I think the people who were trying to buy the building, I think they rewrote a grant. I'm not sure, but I think the building is in good standing now. I think ever since the march, people are a little more aware and want to get involved in saving it.
Okay, okay, excellent, excellent. So what's next for you, Nikko? You are so busy. I hear your name so much, and with the Our Village, um, I mean, they speak of you being the voice of the youth, leading the way. So I mean, you have so much going on. So what's next?
Well, what's next is, and I was gonna say Sunday, that I feel everyone Sunday came to the rally upset and heavy-hearted
Mm-hmm.
to the police genocide in America. And, that's America with 3 Ks. The the loss exemplified again what this country rests its collective consciousness on.
Mm-hmm.
So how we can overturn that narrative is through true knowledge of self. And what I'm working on right now is bringing to theaters is creating a play about the greatest and the most strongest and the most successful revolution of all, and that's the Haitian Revolution from 1791 to 1804. The Haitian Revolution, again, was organized by an oppressed people whose overseers thought they weren't intelligent or did not have enough skills or expertise to overthrow them. And that's kind of what's happening now. Everyone is, getting into the fight now when the fight has been ever since we came here and ever since we were, you know, enslaved, and actually we've, you know,
Mm. Yeah, I would love to see that. Absolutely love to see that. I love hearing stories. I don't think we hear enough stories of how strong we were during those time periods,
yes,
of us rebelling and fighting. And I mean, the most we hear about, is Harriet Tubman, which, don't get me wrong, that's like my girl. I wish she's somebody I would love to have, when they ask you, who would you like to have dinner with, dead or alive? Harriet Tubman is definitely on my list at my dinner party. Because that was strength and courage, a spirit beyond belief. And I just love hearing more of that history where we fought back and we were strong. And I just think we haven't taught our children enough about, yes, this really happened, but they don't tell you those things.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And a part of American history, especially when it comes to the history of African people,
Mm-hmm.
is what I've noticed. It's a way they teach it. It's a way they, use our history. They don't bring bills. They don't bring up the Garveys or the Patrice Lumbumba's or the Thomas Sinatras for a reason, you know. And that's no disrespect to anyone who led the fight and struggle, but it's a reason they want to keep us docile, and that also comes through a form of knowledge of self, you know.
Yes, that, which I'll be doing another episode on, is the bill. You and I were there to talk about ways to take action.
Yes.
The rally was so powerful, and you know, a lot of pain was expressed. Um, but, you know, I definitely wanted people to leave there with some actionable items. Like, as soon as you get home, you can do this. If
Yeah.
so many people wanting to do something now, they're like, how can I help? What can I mean, white, black, every net, like, what can we do? You know? So, you know, we have rallies and we're protesting, which has been so powerful. Um, but yeah, now it's time to definitely take some more action. What's the next step?
Yes.
And knowledge of self, knowledge of who Black people really are. That's just one of the solutions to the
Yeah.
problem with racism. Just one. And I think it's important. You know, I'm pushing legislation. I wrote an amendment to a piece of legislation written by House Representative LaShawn Ford on the west side of Chicago. So he and I went to the Capitol and on March 4th and talked about how important it is that all children know the history, the true history of Black people, and that we didn't just start with slavery.
Yeah.
You know, our history didn't begin there. And our children need to know that when we were enslaved, hello, we fought back. There
Yeah.
were revolutions.
The Haitian Revolution, but the Kenya uprising, the East African Revolution,
Mhm.
the revolution in Mexico, you know, Nat Turner.
Let me ask you, Nikko, you being a young person, I mean, you're a man, but you're a young man, you're a lot younger than I am. How does that make you feel when, because I know coming from the family that you grew up in, you were probably fed a lot of this information.
Yes.
So how do you think that impacted your self-esteem as a young Black man, as a young Black boy growing up, and now you're a man and you're really seeing the ugliness, you know, you're
Yeah.
vulnerable to it. How does that information, knowing that information, help you?
Well, the information helped me out a boatload as far as my confidence and self-esteem, because I knew where I stood in the Mafa of this country and who I am as an African. You know, a lot of people, you know, don't know who they are, and that's where the power struggle tends to happen.
Mm.
So, you know, instead of being the education system actually being a tool and a resource of what's the word I'm looking for? Instead of it being a helping hand, is actually a very oppressive way to our children. It's become a very oppressive and divisive, you know, tool used against our children. You know, that's in Evanston, but that's just, you know, where it is all across the world. You know, and you look at our Secretary of Education, which is a Trump, which is you know, education is really turned into really a laughing stock.
Yes, yes, it has, and we gotta change it. Um, Representative Ford and I are fighting for them to even take the textbooks out of Texas, out of the state of Texas, and just redo all of it. Stop miseducating, stop misinforming, because it's so destructive. It is
Yeah.
so destructive. Goodness, they have no idea how destructive it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and tried to get that across to some of the House committee in Springfield, and let me tell you, 7 of them absolutely do not care and bold enough to just straight up say, voted against it.
And that's where a lot of our, you know, that's where we tend to, you know, we don't understand racism as a whole. You know, racism is not about how one feels about one group. It plays a part, but that's not what it is. You know, racism is political. Racism is educational, it's intellectual, it's socioeconomical, it's all of those things. And that's where, we have to learn that and create our own atmospheres and our own system.
Yes, 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 indeed. Yes, indeed. So, Nikko, is there any other messaging you want to get out there to the people? I felt like your message was so important this past weekend, and there was so much going on, and we didn't get to hear it. But let people know what all do we need to know that's happening.
Well, all you need to know is really that this is gonna be a fight, across the realms of education, of political, a part of socioeconomical, financial. This is a fight against police brutality. This is going to be a fight to the bitter end. And one thing that we can't lose sight of, we can't fall out with each other, just because of a disagreement or whatever. This time of uniformity and uniting, we've been disunited for so long that we actually have to relearn ourselves and relearn our cultural heritage.
Yes, yes, I agree 100%. Of your peer group, what's the conversation circulating around?
My peer group, a lot of us are upset, and we are, a lot of like-minded individuals like myself are right now working on ways to overthrow and to and dismantle this system of white supremacy. So we've had countless conversations, even before the tragic passings of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and all the other people who died of injustice. So we've we've been working. We've been working really hard.
Well, I appreciate your work. I appreciate your sacrifice. I should say we appreciate your sacrifice, your work, your vision. Vision is so important, and you're not just a person with vision, you're a person who's acting on it. And I love it, and I respect it, and I thank you. I thank you, and I thank you, and I appreciate you for it. And I know you have some amazing stuff ahead of you because you're already starting on the right track. On the right track.
Yes, thank you so much, and thank you for having me today.
Oh, most definitely. We will definitely have you back, because I know I hear your name all the time around town. So anytime you've got something new going on, a message you need to get out there, Evanston Live TV is always open to you, and thank you for everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that was Nikko Ross, ladies and gentlemen. Powerful voice in the community, and looking forward to seeing so much more from him. God is beautiful. I love seeing the young people just taking everything to a whole nother level. It's just exciting to see people with a vision, and not only having a vision, but acting on it. Like they got a plan. It's not just a dream. They got a plan, and they're taking steps and just making things happen. So that gives me a lot of hope when I see a Nikko Ross and Nia Williams and Liana Wallace and all the amazing young people who are just getting out there, and they're on fire, absolutely on fire. I love it. So you all please stay tuned. We have so much more. I know a lot of people want to get involved and help. You can reach out to Nikko Ross. I'll be sure to put his contact information in the description. I have some more information coming up about the legislation that Representative Ford and I have been pushing, and November's a big month. So if you want to take action, now would be the time in terms of education and Black history expansion. Yeah, it's a lot. We got a lot of work ahead of us. So you all stay tuned. Thank you for supporting Evanston Live TV. And we have more awesome people coming on the show. I'm excited. You guys have a great day and be careful, stay aware, stay alert, and be conscious.